Howdy, y'all. We're going to do an experiment today. Now, let me tell you the story here. On the Lee 358 125s that we use for our cowboy shooting, they're coated in prismatic Sinbad purple. They coat really good. The issue I'm having is with my inline bullet feeder on my Lee 6-pack. Sometimes the bullet drops in to the top of the case just fine. Sometimes it don't. Sometimes they lean over. Sometimes they don't even stay on, they just fall completely off. And my suspicion is the powder coat, and I'm going to show you why here. Let me grab it here where I can show it to you good. Let's bring you in here. See that on the end of it there? It's basically like it has too much powder coating on it, and then when it's obviously it's going down, but as it's going down and it's pushing that powder coat around, the excess powder coat's got to go somewhere, so it comes off of the end down here. That's nothing but powder coat. There's no lead there. I'm thinking that you know, by the time I do all the handling of the quenching, the drying, the sizing, well, this would all take place after all that, but during the sizing, you know, put them back in the container and it stays there. Then I take them out and I put them in the bullet feeder and start loading. So what we're going to do today, we're going to conduct a little experiment. This is how I've been knocking the excess off with this frying ladle, I guess you call it. Put it in here, dump powder, bullets in there, shake it, and then I take them and put them in my tray. I'm thinking I'm not shaking it enough. So, talking with Walter, because Walter is sending me some Bevel based bullets to see if that fixes the problem. Maybe if it does, maybe I'll find another mold instead of these Lees. But hopefully it's just my process of powder coating. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this, and then this one is breaking on me anyway. I've kind of got it super glued together right now because I didn't feel like going and buying another one. But many people use these, and Walter suggested this one, so I got it in, and it's just a wire mesh. So we're going to give that a try, and what we'll do is we'll keep them separate. I've already got some bullets in here. They're already shaken up, ready to go. I'll do half of them here, powder coat those, quench them, and then we'll put the other half into this one and shiv off all that stuff, or sift off all that stuff, and see if I makes a difference. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's get that's probably about half of them. Like I said, this is how I usually do it. And you see I don't have a whole lot of excess come off of it there. Oop. Couple on the ground. So let me get these in the tray and get them cooking, and we'll be back. All right, let's do the rest of them in this screen. Everybody's still got about the same amount of powder left over there. Bullets look about the same. So let me get these into the tray and we'll be back. Okay, we got them all powder coated. They was quenched. They're dried. Let's take a couple measurements. Now, these are all just random pulled out of the bag there. That says 361. Let's see if I can hold on to stuff. Roughly 361. They're not round. That says 64. Well, I can't hang on to nothing. That one's around 63. So that one's about 60. About 63. All right, that's the old method. Let's check out the new method. See if we get a little smoother. Oh, about 63. So it's don't seem like it's my powder coating process. That one's about 60. That one's about 60. And that one's about 61. All right. We are going to powder coat them now. Alright, not powder coat. We'll size them. So the first thing we got to do is lube them. Now, I used my alcohol lanolin mix. You can zip that up, get all the air out of them. They're nice and coated now. They're all wet. So what we do now is let that alcohol evaporate. So I usually do this like in the afternoon and then come back the next day and do my sizings. So what we're going to do, we're going to let these set because the bullets that Walter's sending me to experiment with have been sitting in Spring, Texas for 3 days, and this is Saturday, so we got Sunday, we got Saturday. Okay, today's Saturday. They ain't moved from there. Obviously tomorrow's Sunday, and Monday I'm not for sure if it's a federal holiday or not. because it will be Easter. So maybe I'll get them Tuesday, and then we'll finish up this video. Okay, so these are all ready to size now. They're all been lubed, and I got some bullets in from Walter, and these are bevel base. These have been powder coated but not sized. That's the Lyman 358 665. That's a 158 grain bullets. And then I got some M&Ps 358 135 semi quad cutter round noses. They've been powder coated but not sized. And then he's got me some Henley and Gibbs number 51, and they're semi-wide cutters, and they have been there. They've already been sized, and that's probably got a good bevel base on it. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to size everything. I'm not going to bore y'all with everything, but there's where we're going to be sizing them in the APP. I'm going to size them, and then we're going to look at them. I want to see my old method versus my new method, and then how the bevel bases come out while they're being sized. So let me get that done, and we'll be back. Okay, there, everything is sized. Now, on the old method, I mean, that looks good. That and there does. But then you got this one. And it looks like it looks shiny like it's lead, but it's not. That's just powder coat. So we move over to the new method where hopefully I got a little bit more off, but obviously you see some there. On this particular batch here, it's still got some on it. There's some there. I had one here. It was, there it is right there. That's just reaching into that bag and grabbing a handful of them out, and that's the sample I got out. So here's the ones I just sized from Walter, and obviously we got nothing because it's a bevel base, and there's nothing on any of them. These are the Lymans that I've just sized. There's nothing there. So I mean, this is fine for your hand feeding, but doing that inline bullet feeder to me is just giving me problems, and I'm not sure. So let me get a case and we'll try them. Okay, so I got a case in here. We're going to size it, and we're going to flare it. All right. Let's try one of the Henley and Gibbs. And yeah, that drops way down in there. You know, I didn't size these, but They are pretty much the same size as mine, 358 and 3/10. Same thing on this. So his size, their size is just about the same as mine. But with that bevel base, they're dropping in there a little bit more. So let's try the alignment. Same thing. Falls in there pretty good. Guess I could get over here in the middle of the camera, huh? And let's try the M&P. And that drops in there pretty good. Now see, if that would dropped out of that feeder, that would definitely stay in there. But then I have these, like this one. When it drops, see, it wants to hang up. It goes in there pretty good ways, but it wants to catch that little spot. And a lot of times it flips over. And so here, this one doesn't really have anything on it, a little bit of spot. But it drops in there pretty good. So I'm thinking that I'm wanting to, might change my change the mold, go to a different mold. But I'm having a hard time finding one. So we're going to test these to see if this works. So we'll do that in the next video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up I'm going to take a whole row of this tube here and fill it full of one of the bevel bases, and then run that until it's empty and see how it works, if I have any problems or not. Then I'll do the lineman and the H&G and just see if we have any problems. Help solve that. Then I'll go ahead and run some of these leads again and see if I have the problems there. So I'm just trying to figure out a way that I'm not constantly having to fix one of them because it falls off or it just doesn't set in there correctly and stuff like that. It's the only complaint I've had so far about this machine is that bullet drop. Not every time. I mean, when it drops, it's like I'm just pulling. But then it gets into a run of several of them fall off. Some of them, sometimes when it gets down to where it's low, maybe the pressure is not pushing it down enough when it drops and not letting it seat in there. Maybe I just don't have it adjusted right. I don't know. Some of the things I'm trying to figure out here. So, all right. I want to thank Walter one more time for sending these to me to do this test with. I didn't ask for this many of them, but he sent me quite a few of them. So we're gonna do that in the next video because this one's already gotten too long. So, all right. Thanks for watching, everybody, and stay tuned for the next one.